I was asked to how to make a shoulder board for like an epaulette for a military uniform, and I want to try to show it to you. So first of all, I have a board here that is just put in some nails and the design, the pattern to follow. This makes it easier. After 1,000 whatever, you can just leave it alone because then you know how to follow it. But I have this as a pattern for me to make it more simple. So yeah, I start here laying the cord, but what I do is I now follow the ropes I had put under it as design. So I start here, so then I am here, so it's always a upside down side, for example. So here this has to be under it. I hope you can see it. Then I start here, then I see that I have to go under both. It's a little bit tricky to show you on the living board. It's easier when I have it on a flat before me, in front of me. So now I hope you can see it. Then here it's like this. X. I have to be. No, I'm just wrong here. I always have to look myself because I don't do these on a regular basis, so I just think I have to turn it around. That's what I always do wrong. Oops. So now I have to go over it, under it. This was a mistake now. I did. So, but now I'm right. So then I have to look for. Hope everybody can see it. So I have to go over it. Then here I have to go under it. It's a little bit tricky with the show effect, showing people what to do. So I'm following this. Nope. So then I'm still right. Then I have to go. You also see here it's like webbing. You also see this here going under it, then over it, under it. It's clear. It just have to, when you take it down, it has to be constantly sitting there and not falling apart. So now this is the form you need. And now what I do now is I try to stay beside the rope I now have. Always when I'm inside, I'm still inside, not twisting around the threads. This is what I'm doing next. So now I'm following the rope I had done before. So then just follow everything. Do the knot a second time and you will have a perfect shoulder board. This is the later on sewn on a cardboard covered with fabric. So, but this is what I don't want to do because this is a simple to see thing on the original items. Upsala. So now I have to twist this because it's inside, turning outside. So can you see it? Yeah. So then I go through this. Normally I take also an awl, but it was a little bit short in preparation. I just do these items from time to time, not always, because we had times we made much more of those, but also with the metal braids and so on. But this is outside, inside, outside. So then Here I go under it, over it, under it, on this side. See here, it's a little bit difficult when you don't have it putting directly on you. Try to show something. So you see something, then over it. Here I go under it. So map. It's just a little bit difficult with the fingers, but everything else should be no problem. So here I turn around here, go under it. It's just following the single rope. And the best thing is soutache was originally used, but this is it's normally a soutache that's sometimes a flat one, but also sometimes it's one with 4 strands, so it's more like round, like this round cord. But the problem is with soutache, it can be that it spreads out and the sole comes out. That might be the problem, and it's heavier to work with than this normal rope. But what I would not use is a twisted rope. So I mean something that's just twisted, and when you turn it around, it may be that it spreads out and doesn't look very well. So I would also always use this this kind of braided rope. This is the easiest way. Then here I go around here. It's just always an under over waving. Normally it's a very simple knot, but whoops, it looks very tricky. And the easiest way is with these nail board, you hold the tension of it. You won't do it one very thick and the other one very wide. So this is how they are done traditionally. Now it gets tricky. So here I moved around. I have to be inside. So here I have to go under it. And it's always depending a little bit on the thickness of these ropes. Here maybe I would do another 3rd strand, but when you're a reenactor and you do a copy of an old item, then you can see on an original item how thick this cord has to be. But if you do something for steampunk or whatever, it's maybe I will do now the 3rd row following the rope again, that it's getting thicker in the whole thing. But this is how it's done actually. And when you have something that's called a functional, then it's very simple. That's these cords that are hanging from your shoulder with some tips, metal tips under it. You simply would do like if you would crochet a rope. It's simply like this. You do here, and then you simply go through. Put this here. It's a little bit too thin, this rope, as it would be. Actually, it would be much wider, but this is how it's done. And originally, these ropes were made for chacos, or the chapka, whatever, and how to hold them. And when they were in battle, one of these end of the strings would be in a buttonhole around the button, and when they are in battle, they could unfold this long rope to make it longer, that they won't lose their chaco and whatever. That's the main thing that stood behind historically. So, and on the last loop, this is like if you would crochet, and in the last loop you could just go through it, and you have this part of the shoulder strip, functional, however you would call it. So this is how it's done, and yeah, good luck in crafting.